Hello everyone, welcome to the preview for the game. It's Fulham versus Manchester United at Craven Cottage in the Premier League. A game that you have to win if you want to push into the top half of the table. But it just doesn't feel like United have the minerals to get this thing points. To get to win.
Anything. Do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really depressing, isn't it? Like, to talk about United in the Premier League. Like, it's just, there's nothing fun. Like, it's just not fun at all. And it doesn't help that even against really, really shit teams like Southampton, we fucking struggle.
Yeah.
Like, we absolutely struggle. And then, so God knows what Fulham are going to do to us, because well organised, decent manager, players are in form. Yeah, this is not going to be fun.
Yeah. Do you think, in regards to Manchester United, do you think Amorim's starting to find his best team yet? Or do you think he's still struggling?
I think he knows there's certain players that he can rely upon, and he sort of trusts to a point, but I think he knows he's missing key components, i.e. wing-backs. Like, they're super integral to his system, and he's not found anybody, aside from Ahmad, who fits into that and works well. That left-hand side is just dead at this point, isn't it? Like... Yeah. Dallo doesn't work there. Mazraoui doesn't really work there. Malacia doesn't work there. Like, it's a tricky.
At the time of recording, sorry, just because you mentioned that there, as you guys who were watching can see on the news ticker, the second bid, I believe, for Patrick Dorgu has been rejected. So that leaves us in kind of limbo at the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's just I've seen rumours. The Gazzetta Italia said it's Ruben Amorim's like top target. How much truth there is to that, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but if it is, then you need to back the manager and get his target in if he thinks it's going to improve the team, especially on that left-hand side. So, yeah, it's a worry. And then obviously you've got the forward line who are just not scoring enough goals. Yeah. Xerxes didn't really work against in the Europa League against Rangers. Like, he had some nice touches, but he didn't have that striker's instinct to get into the box and stuff like that. Garnacho was working hard and well-spirited, but again, frustrating when it came to finishing in front of goal. And if it weren't for that sort of Bruno last-minute goal, then we're probably looking at a draw against Rangers, who ravaged by injury. There was a bunch of 18-year-olds on the pitch, and they're the second-best team in Scotland, which isn't saying much because I think Celtic have got a 15-point gap on them in the Scottish Premier League. So, yeah, we're in dire straits right now.
Yeah, they've got a whole list of problems, Rangers, haven't they? I mean, they've done protests and upset with the owners and the progression and the manager and all that kind of stuff. Plus the injuries mounted on top of that. It felt like United should at least put on a bit more of a clinic. But it was, we had to get a last-minute winner, like you said, through Bruno Fernandes. You mentioned Alejandro Garnacho there, and obviously Craven Cottage was the place where he scored it was one of his debut goals. I can't really remember, but we all remember it. It was Lissandro, then to Ericsson. Ericsson, little through ball, and he literally, the pace just got round his man, didn't it? And just before the international break, I think it was, and he scored the goal. Do you think he'll feature in this game? And what did you make of him last night? Because I thought he looked a bit better last night.
Yeah, no, it was a nice performance. It was tidy. There was some good stuff there. He was working that half space, the inside half space, a lot better than he has. Yeah. He has a tendency to drift out to the left like a lot of time, which is a natural thing, but he worked that half space nicely. He put a couple of balls in the box as well, which was speaking about Joshua Xerxes didn't have that striker's instinct to get into the 6-yard box. There was a couple of things that flashed across and he just didn't quite have that. Had a couple of shots at goal as well. There was an opportunity where he was right in front and he sort of just skived it wide. So, yeah, I thought better than what we've seen from him sort of recently. I thought better performance. And if we can see more of that as time, if he doesn't end up leaving, I think, he could be useful, because if you're going to play Ahmad in that right wing back position, we've got a lack of people to play in that other 10 position beside Bruno, haven't we? Like, there's not many options there.
Look, I know Amorim, he's got there's a lot of square pegs in round holes at the moment in there. The wing backs in particular, the striker in particular, the attacking 10s and the midfield, which almost sounds like the full team. But
the goalkeeper as well. The goalkeeper's a question mark. So it's like, who do you pick there?
Absolutely. But what is Amorim's biggest challenge now, do you think, to the end of the season? Aside from, because we can pick at individuals, what is his toughest thing from now until May, June, when he actually does get to pre-season? What's going to be really tricky for him, do you think?
It's getting enough wins to sort of stabilize the club, isn't it? Like that's what it comes down to. Because we've all agreed.
This philosophy, do you mean?
Yeah. So like grinding out results, but getting the philosophy into the players. Because people on our channel have already started. He needs to change. I think Aaron said it. I think Chivy said it. I disagree personally, but people have already started saying it, and it's like he needs to stick with it, but he also needs to get results, because if we end up just going on a losing streak from now to the end of the season, we could end up well in the relegation zone. I don't think we will. I think we'll pick up enough results to sort of stave off, but I think we're all in agreement we're not going to get anywhere in the European places, are we, this season? Like, that's not happening.
No.
So just make sure we survive and then just go all for it in the Europa League. That's got to be the aim this season, I think. So get enough results to stay up and just stabilize the club and then just go all out in Europa League. That would be what I would make my priority.
Because the league is so flaky at the moment, isn't it? Like, I think there's a lot of United fans, obviously we won't do score predictions just yet, but there's probably a lot of United fans going into this thinking we could well easily lose this game by the way we've been playing at the moment. And we're literally level on points with West Ham.
Yeah.
2 points above Spurs, 6 points above Everton, but Everton have a game in hand. So it's like you lose a couple. And it sounds crazy to say it, but you are straight back in the mix for relegation. And we could well lose to... I don't know what our next game after Fulham is. Do you know? You remember?
It's FCSB in the Europa League.
Yeah, in Europa. In the league, we have Palace at home.
Palace.
Who are in relatively good form. And that's not going to be... I mean, Palace have beat us at home before, haven't they? So...
Yeah. That was the site of one of the worst performances ever under Ten Hag as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, the away one. That was 4-0, wasn't it? Shocking, man. So, it's going to get sticky, this, isn't it? A couple of losses. Done for.
And I think as well, Fulham have got some good players who have been playing well this season. Like Alex Iwobi's been playing well. Jimenez has got a couple of goals. Sander Berge, we were linked with, has played decent. He's back from injury and stuff. The goalie's been really, really good. So I just think, and then obviously the manager's excellent, well organised and stuff like that. I just think this is going to be a problem team, whether we're in good form or not. This is a problem team for you. And when you're in bad form, and we, like Chivy and me say all the time, if we play against a well-organised team, fucking curtains every time. Yeah. And I can't see anything else beyond that, because we only seem to step up against the big clubs, Liverpool, Arsenal, City. When it comes to like everybody else, we just sort of fucking chuck the towel in, don't we?
Yeah, especially the teams, like you say, who are... I mean, Fulham are extremely organised. They're athletic. They press really well. They defend really well in numbers as a group, as a collective. It's more about the team with Fulham. Teams like Fulham and Bournemouth, they do have decent individuals like your Semenyos or your Robinsons, but they play so well as a team.
Yeah, there's no star in their team, is there?
Yeah. They certainly have a better team in terms of... And they are a better coach team at the moment. Would you say they have better players? Because that's the weird narrative at the moment, isn't it, with United?
Yeah. Individually, I would say that like, if you put up like Alex Iwobi against Ahmad, you'd be like, Ahmad's the better player, wouldn't you?
Ahmad's a better player, for sure.
Yeah. If you put, what's his...
But then you say Jimenez and Højlund. I think Jimenez is a better striker.
Yeah. And there's sort of comparisons across the pitch. And I think there's a couple where you go, all right, Fulham have got the edge there. But like you said, you just spoke upon them together as a unit, as a group, as a team. That trumps everything. You could have a group of quality individuals, but if you've got a unit that works together, fights for each other, works hard, and does everything together, they will beat you 9 times out of 10. Yeah. Because they have that ethic and stuff like that. We saw that with PSG when they were putting superstar after superstar, and they were trying to win the Champions League, and they couldn't do it because it's just like a load of individualistic players playing for themselves, not as a team. And then it's just, that's the way it goes sometimes. And I think that's what Fulham have got over us. We don't have that unity at the minute. And I think we're probably not going to have it this season. So I think at the minute, Fulham is the better team by far. I think you could question mark individuals, player versus player, but it's not to say that we deserve to win this game, because we don't.
Yeah, it's a mad one because of late, so the past 5 games, let's say, for example, they beat Leicester, but they've lost to West Ham. They drew with Ipswich. They drew with Bournemouth. But then in the league in general, Sam, they've beaten Chelsea. They've got a draw at Liverpool. I think they drew at Arsenal, and they beat other big sides as well. And we're not even in that echelon. So they are going to pick us apart if they actually turn up and they're up for it, which most teams are, aren't they, against United?
Yeah, and defensive-wise, we haven't been that good either. Like, conceding goals has been an issue for us. Scoring goals at one end has been the issue, and then conceding at the other end has been an issue. So it's like, I don't see where we get a win from. Like you said, unless Fulham decide not to show up and have a poor game and we sneak a goal from somewhere, like Jack Butland style, and it goes in the back of the net, I don't see where we score from, and then I don't see how we keep them out either. So it's just, there's no sort of positive I can look at where we're like, this is how we win this game, because on evidence previous, there hasn't been a way where we've beaten teams like Fulham.
Would you say this is the first time Fulham are genuine favourites in this game?
Yeah, I would agree that. Like, I think when we went down and you spoke on the Garnacho one, I think we're all saying, yeah, it might be tight, but I think we can win this. And I think we agree we can win this. And then obviously it looked like it was going to be a draw right up until the end before Garnacho scored that goal.
There was another one as well, wasn't there, with Bruno, where he scored. It was like a last minute.
Yeah.
Remember it?
Yeah.
Like 92nd minute or something, I think it was.
And then I went to the game in I think it was the FA Cup or the League Cup, where there was red cards all over the place. I think Willian went. I think Michael Silva got sent off and stuff. Yeah. It was like 3-3 at the time, and then we ended up winning 4-3, I think.
Sabitzer scored a couple, I think.
So there's been games like that as well. Have we ever like sort of just dominated Fulham and just destroyed them recently?
Not for a long time. No, I don't think.
So no. Yeah, it's a strange team. So yeah, I probably are the favourites, but if you look back in the past, I don't think we've ever sort of battered him. Maybe not post Fergie anyway.
Well, if you are watching, guys, let us know your thoughts on that. Do you think Fulham are the favourites, and what kind of odds are you giving United heading into this one? We're going to talk about the ones to watch. For me, Sam, it's got to be Bruno, because he's just flying at the minute. He's doing well in big games, but not only that, you saw last night against Rangers, last minute, from out of nowhere, basically. I mean, the pass from Martinez was unbelievable, but Bruno, I even saw like 90th just legging it after balls, pushing people, commanding people, like starting to really peacock, I think, at the moment, because that can very quickly change. But he's the one I would focus on in this game, because he has got a good record against Fulham as well. Hello? What's going on here?
You froze for like 5 minutes.
Oh, I froze?
Yeah.
Did I? You just typing. And I was like, Sam, I just asked you a point. And
you were frozen. I was like, hello?
Oh, I don't know. Hello? Yeah, so one to watch. Who's you want to watch for United, please?
I hate to say it, but it's Ahmad, isn't it? Like, he's the only guy I look at, and he could create something. He's exciting. He gets you going. Like, he's always a threat. Like, he's the only one, I think, just like that creates something for United. Like, Xerxes, not there. Højlund, not there. Garnacho had a decent cameo against in the Europa League. I think Bruno, you've sort of touched on the goalkeeper situation. I don't know which way he's going to go with that. In all honesty, the defense had a shit time. Dallow's been poor. Mazraoui's not been up to it. Igaru and Mainu didn't play in the Europa League.
And also, the past couple of games, they've been a little bit leggy.
So I'm sorry to say the same answer, but it is Ahmad.
Yeah, that's fair. For Fulham, anyone you worried about at all? I've gone with Iwobi. For some reason, every time we play him, he does something. Every single time.
Iwobi would have been the one I picked. And I remember that famous thing when Alex, your mate, came on the show and he said Iwobi, and I laughed at him, and then he scored against us.
Yeah, and we did an edit, didn't we? We went the power meter. We went, I'm telling you, Iwobi's going to do something. And he was like, do.
Fucking, famous last words. But yeah, I think Jimenez, the striker, I think he's in decent form. He's got a couple of goals. Goalie looked really good the other week, like made a ton of like decent saves and stuff like that. So they've got some like strong individual players. Obviously, you got to talk about Antonee Robinson, haven't you? Fantastic left back.
Love him.
Really, really like him. I would love him to come play for United. I really would. I think he's a top player. I think he'll be dangerous. Can put a cross in. Got pace. Got power. Yeah, I'll go for Antonee Robinson. I think if not Iwobi, Antonee Robinson's definitely going to be a problem.
Yeah, especially on that left-hand side, our right-hand side where we struggled. I mean, the start of the quickfire questions was take one player from Fulham. Is that Robinson?
Yeah.
Mine would be the same. Where does Marco Silva rank this season amongst managers?
Ooh, I think sort of the credit's got to go to Nuno Espirito Santo. He's probably up there, with the turnaround for Forest. Iriola at Bournemouth, I think he's done a fantastic job. Hertzler's done all right, decently.
Slot.
And I think Michael...
Slot, obviously, as well. With
I did want to mention that, but
of course, that's why I did
it. But I think, you put Silva in that next bracket, wouldn't you? I think, like, below the Areolas and stuff like that, I think he's in that next bracket with what he's done with Fulham. I think he's done extremely well. Not good, like you said, not got any standout players. Don't spend that much money. I think he's done extremely well. So, like, all credit to him. I think he's in that bracket, like, just below the Areolas.
I'd keep an eye on the situation at Spurs, personally, because I think if they decide to pull the trigger on Ange, I think he's someone they might look at, Marco Silva. I think they might.
Yeah, him and Iriola have got to be the sort of guys they'll be looking at next. Now with Potter off the market, like they've got to be the next two where you're like these two are the potential.
Yeah, I agree. Will Fulham score early?
Early? No.
Okay. We certainly won't, so I'm not going to ask that question.
No.
Should Collier start?
I don't think he will, but I think he did well enough to deserve a start. Like, I thought he was solid, didn't do anything wrong that I remember, kept it simple, nice and solid. So he deserves his spot, but I don't think he will.
No, I don't think he will either. And prediction for man of the match?
Ahmad
or Bruno, innit, for us?
Yeah, I'll go Ahmad. You can go Bruno.
Cool, that's fine. On to the predicted 11. So mine's first on the screen. I'll talk through mine and then run through yours for me, Sam. A couple of tweaks in between us. I've gone with Bayern Day, not simply because I think he will. I think he might go for Onana, but I'm just trying to put it into... I don't want to see Onana again. I'm just completely done with him. Completely done with him. So I've gone Bayern Day, and from now until the end of the season, Bayern Day will be my goalkeeper in the predicted 11s. I can tell you that much.
Okay.
Delay, Maguire, and Martinez as your back three. I think Mazraoui, Mainu, Ugarte, and Dalot as your four. And then Ahmad back in the attacking three with Xerxes and Bruno Fernandes. Because I think Maz will be back for this, but where he plays, that's the question. But I'm not entirely sure.
I think every week we just like, where's Mazraoui playing? Like, it's a guessing work.
Yeah. Talk us through yours, Sam.
Yeah, so I've gone Onana just because I think he's the Premier League. He's the league keeper, so I just think he's going to come back in. De Ligt and Yoro apparently had knocks against Rangers, so I've took them out. I've took them out just because I think maybe he doesn't want to risk it. So I've got Leacher, Maguire, and Dalot as your right-sided centre back.
I put Mazraoui there because I didn't know who. Right. If he was going to put Dalot or Maz.
Either way. So, but Mazraoui is there in the team as well, so he can play that right-sided centre back, or he might be left backs. But either way, you want to pick it. They'll be in the team, and then I think Ahmad's going to be at right wing back, just because I think we've got a lack of full backs, and with the injuries to the centre backs, with Dalot moving over, I think you'll put him there. And then Ahmad and Ugarte and Mainu are going to be in midfield too. And then it's Garnacho, Bruno, and Højlund. I think Xerxes, although he didn't do anything wrong, there was a lot of balls going into the box from Garnacho, and he was trying to work that angle. And I think maybe if we've got Højlund in and he's making those crashes into the 6-yard box, we might get a bit more lucky with it and be able to get a goal from it. So maybe he sort of sticks Højlund in from the start for this one. Obviously, he got rested against Rangers. So, yeah, that'd be my team.
Interesting. The Ahmad one's fascinating for me because I just think I do like him at wing back, but I do like him as a 10.
Yeah,
it just seems wherever you play him, he's going to do a job really. But I feel like he has more space at wing back to operate, but naturally going to be more of a threat because you're closer to goal as the 10.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think you need to experiment with it a little bit more and find the right kind of partnerships, which is hard when you're picking up knocks in the way we are.
If we actually had wing backs, like if we're actually able to buy wing backs, it wouldn't be an issue because it's like, right, Ahmad being the 10 and he can roam about and make that thing. We've got wing backs overlapping and having that connection, like you said, but we don't have them. So that's the issue right now.
Yeah, agreed. All right, it's time for the almighty score prediction. I don't know. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first on this one?
Fulham 2-0.
Oh, Oh, you're not even giving us a goal.
No.
I'd give us a goal. I've said Fulham 2-1, but I'd give us a goal at least.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we can't sugarcoat it, can you?
There's no situation I could look at that I can take evidence from any previous games where I could be like, we're going to win this way, or this is the way we're going to do it, because there hasn't been any. Like Southampton, if it wasn't for Ahmad pulling an absolute madness, probably would lose that game. Rangers, if Bruno doesn't score that goal at the last minute, probably draw that game. So it's like the only times we've won against lower opposition has been a very, very last minute lucky thing. So if we are going to beat Fulham, it's going to have to be that. That's how it's going to have to be. And it's like, how many times can you do that in a row before it starts? Like running out, the luck runs out. So yeah, I just think Fulham are well organised. They're a good team. There's a good manager. I don't see how we get the win.
I do feel like they are a bit of a kryptonite for us at the moment. Because of the legs they have in the team, the way they press. I can't see any other way. I'm sure there would probably be a lot of United fans that agree with that. If you don't, get your prediction in. If you think it's going to be 4-0 to us, or you think we're going to smash them, I would love to hear it. And please state your reasons why, because I just cannot see it at the moment. And which then that leads us, obviously, it feels like the more Premier League games we play, the more we're kind of... Europa League, is the importance of that is going to come into fruition more and more in it, the more we lose.
I think we've been like this since, I think the Everton result, the Ipswich result, we're like, okay, first game, the Everton result got us a bit positive, and then since then, it's been like, oh yeah, City game, but we played shit. Liverpool and Arsenal, okay, good performance, let's build on this, and then it's just been into the ground, hasn't it, since then?
A couple of bricks, fucking shattered, absolutely shattered.
Yeah.
It has the same feeling as the Brighton one did, where you know what's coming, but you still have to, kind of go through it anyway, unfortunately. But that will be quite literally the last game of the game week, because it's at 7:00. So at least it can't ruin your weekend. It can only ruin a couple of hours. That's the positive.
Such a weird time, though, isn't it? Like a weird time, that.
Very, very bizarre. But yeah, we have to deal with it, I suppose. Make sure you guys check out those Premier League predictions, by the way. That went out on our channel yesterday. Go over there, check it out, and let us know your thoughts on the games. We'll start running a bit of a competition so you can get the most scores predicted correctly, etc., etc. Also, as well, just a quick plug, not necessarily related to Real Reds Talk, but I hosted an event in, I want to say November now. I don't even know. November, December, I think it was. Can't remember. Super 6 Winner Takes All. It had people like Angry Ginge, Stratford Paddock, a load of stuff in there. If you could go give that a watch and get in the comment section, that'd be absolutely amazing and lovely. And let us know your thoughts on the tournament in general. There are going to be more stuff like that coming up this year, and hopefully we can kind of tie the Real Red Talk brand into those kind of things and start working with some of the content creators, etc. So just thought I'd give a quick plug to that. But apart from that, smash like the video for us. We are on 11,320 subscribers, and I believe we're also on the road to 10k on Instagram now, Sam.
Yeah, we're on, I think, close to 5,500 on Instagram. So, we're getting there, man. We're getting there. The Twitter's gone up as well recently. We're like 1,700 something. So, come join us on Twitter while it lasts, because it might not last much longer. But
especially
we're on
with
Blue
that
Sky.
Fucking Nazi Elon in charge.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Not asshole. But we're on Blue Sky as well. So if Twitter does go down, we're on Blue Sky. So follow us, either one of them.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. We'll see you for the game on Sunday. Make sure you come and join us pre-match and post-match. See you in a bit.